Ever since we can remember, Goku has always been so pure of heart that it almost seems like the law of attraction drew evil towards him and his friends. Over the years, time and time again, Goku has found a way to overcome any obstacle that was placed before him in order to save his friends and the world he loves so dearly. But in a sick twist of fate, what if the end of the world were to come by his own hand? This is part 7 of a story by Young Gigi called Dragon Ball After, and when we previously left off, after receiving a devastating blow to the back of the head, Goku has regained his natural Saiyan instincts, and doing so has caused him to go on a murderous rampage. The only one who stood a chance against him, Vegeta, was defeated after an epic battle that involved both Saiyans going all out in their Super Saiyan 3 forms, but in the end, if they are in the same stage of transformation, Goku will always be stronger. Before he can finish him, however, Majin Buu shows up, and even though he is able to get both Oob and Vegeta to safety, Majin Buu is ultimately killed by a forced spirit bomb by Goku that was conceived of the life energy that Goku stole from the inhabitants of the earth. And after thwarting Piccolo's plan to use the Dragon Balls before Goku could get to them, Goku rests on King Kai's planet to regain his strength. But not even Goku could fathom what would happen to him after his most recent Zenkai boost after being near death in his fight with Vegeta. If you want to keep up with more awesome stories just like this one, be sure to go join the Dragon Ball Fan Manga Facebook page down below and subscribe here for more. Once Goku is fully recovered, he makes his way back to the battlefield on Earth. Piccolo and the others are standing by idly looking for Goku's energy, never really knowing when he may suddenly show up again, and even though they seem to be in position to not be taken off guard by him, Goku appears directly between Goten and Trunks, and as if he doesn't even know who they are, wipes them both out in a single attack. Goku has entered a totally different realm of power, and this is when he confirms that because Vegeta pushed him to the absolute limits of his potential but he wasn't able to kill him, Goku's power has now risen to heights that startle even he. He tries to justify taking out Goten and Trunks first by saying that they've become too accustomed to peace over the years and are obviously the weakest links. Next, he sets his sights on Gohan, but the sheer pressure of his ki is enough to freeze Gohan where he stands. Goku, however, requests a one-on-one fight with his son in order to burn off some of the energy that keeps increasing, and he says that he may even lose control. Piccolo displays a fearful face that catches the attention of Gohan because he's never seen Piccolo so frightened before. This angers Goku, who says that the battle has already started, so how dare he look away, and as he charges Gohan with full intent to kill him, Piccolo is only fast enough to push Gohan out of the way, and doing so costs him his arm. Piccolo, attempting to remain calm in the face of this nearly impossible situation, assures Gohan that he still has a plan. Goku, however, states that if Vegeta couldn't beat him, what chance does Piccolo even think he has? Gohan, however, now fully grasping the situation they're in, decides to step up and do what he can to hold off his father in order to buy Piccolo whatever time he can. Goku, however, is delighted that he can finally fight his own son to the death, and this actually shakes Gohan to the core. However, he realizes that he can't back down here, so he tells Piccolo to just worry about Goten and Trunks for now and he'll do what he can. Gohan attempts to reason with his father one final time, but it's no use as Goku demands to see his full power at once. The two head off to do battle in the sky, leaving Piccolo below, and while he does have faith in Gohan's power, could Gohan do what needs to be done in order to save the world from his own father? Goku wastes no time showing his intent to kill Gohan, and this speaks volumes to him, realizing that there is truly no other way out of this. But Goku has no more words for his son and blasts him away at point blank range, and this is seemingly the end of Gohan as well. Piccolo is crushed at the sight of the explosion that consumed Gohan, and for some reason he decides to blame himself for all of this. But after a short breakdown, he realizes that he must remain calm in order to devise a solid plan against Goku, and after growing his arm back, he turns his attention back to Goten and Trunks. Goten seems to be in the worst shape of the two, so after Trunks regains his consciousness, Piccolo orders him to grab Goten and go to the lookout immediately in order to use the time chamber to completely conceal their presence from Goku. Vegeta was the best chance they stood against Goku, and after this recent power up, it doesn't even look like Gotenks would stand much of a chance either. but Piccolo will do what he can for now. He says that a little further ahead, Trunks will find Tien and Chaozu waiting for them, and he says that if he fails here, then the Earth will be in the hands of he and Goten. Piccolo says that the fusion between Goten and Trunks will be the last and best chance they have of defeating Goku, but over the years, the gap in strength between the two boys has widened to the point that they may not even be able to perform the technique at this moment because Trunks kept up with his training under Vegeta while Goten would forego most of his. They'll use the time chamber in order to get back in sync and attempt to even out their powers again. Piccolo tells Trunks not to worry so much about him because there was once a time where he was not only the god of this planet, but also his greatest threat, insinuating that he's not going out there to just roll over and die. He heads off to confront Goku by himself, leaving the rest of his faith in Goten and Trunks. Goku senses Piccolo well before he shows up, and when they are face to face, Piccolo's head-on attacks don't even budge the sand. Piccolo unleashes a full power blast at point blank range, hoping to at least do noticeable damage, but when the smoke clears, Goku hasn't even moved. Goku gives Piccolo a total of 10 seconds to run away, but even after getting away, Piccolo racks his brain to think of some sort of plan, no matter how minuscule. His years of combat experience, along with having the knowledge of Kami, have to pay off somehow, and just when it seems that there's actually nothing he can do, something hits him. It seems that it may be too late, however, because as soon as Goku's count reaches 10, he senses another familiar key nearby, and his attention leaves Piccolo momentarily. We then cut to see that Goten and Trunks have finally come in contact with Tien and Chaozu, but before they can even attempt to escape the area, Goku shows up, and instead of being happy to see his old friends once again, he's more happy about being able to kill all of them at once. Being all out of options, Trunks decides that he'll try to distract Goku long enough for Tien to try to escape with Goten, but Goku lands a kick so ferocious on him that Trunks says he actually felt his bones shake from the impact. But this is when Piccolo appears out of nowhere, right in time to save Trunks, and for some reason, he actually lands a hit that does damage. This interesting turn of events gives Tien and Chaozu enough time to escape with Goten and Trunks. When Goku reappears, he doesn't understand why Piccolo didn't just remain in hiding, but Piccolo says that he may actually have a surprise for Goku this time around. When the two enter their next exchange, Piccolo throws another punch, and it seems that the result will be the same as before, but this is when something strange happens. His punch actually connects. Goku doesn't understand how Piccolo is this much stronger all of a sudden because his ki hasn't changed at all. Piccolo goes on to explain that when Goku tore off his arm, it was imbued with Goku's energy, so he had his body develop a countermeasure to neutralize it, and doing so causes Goku's ki to decrease when he struck. With Piccolo creating a new glimmer of hope for the Earth, the best he can manage is to stall Goku for a little while longer, now that he can fight him somewhat. But the true fate of the world rests in the group headed towards Kami's lookout. If the fusion is a failure, then that's it, but when will Majin Buu's final plan come to fruition after putting all of his trust into Vegeta and Oob, whom he'd saved prior to his own death? That's gonna do it for this one, guys. I hope you all enjoyed it as usual. This one definitely took a lot longer because there was an absurd amount of dialogue in this volume, guys. I'm telling you, it felt like I was reading Hunter x Hunter almost. Unfortunately, this manga hasn't been updated in a few years or so, so I'm not sure when it'll be finished, but if it ever does get finished, I will be right back on it. Anyways, down below, let me know how you think Goku will be defeated, if they can even pull this off. I'm not really too sure what Gotenks can do, but it might work in the end. I don't know. We still have Vegeta and Oob here as well. But anyways, have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.